What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XPR network today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are at 0.00322223. Looking like we're consolidating a little bit. You know, if it wasn't for this blemish on February 3rd that we had here on that Scariff Monday event, this would actually look like a pretty consolidation phase, almost like a bull flag even. But it's a pretty damn big flag. On a weekly perspective, it stands out. It looks a little bit better. Weekly RSI looking bullishly postured. Yes, it is to the downside, and you can go a little bit lower. Yes, you can still be bullishly postured and move down. That's fine. Higher lows overall, though, is not a bad thing. Getting overbought and not getting oversold is definitely a good thing. And you are right at the 50 area now. What would be nice, you guys, is if the week here, regardless of going lower or not, if you can find support right here, if you could close here or higher, I think you're looking really good. You're looking like you're bouncing off the 50, and that's very promising. Very promising. You don't have to bounce right off of the 50 here on the RSI. You can go a little bit lower and find support down there too. That's fine, but you know, something in the format of like a higher low in relevance to this kind of trend here, that would be preferred. Even if you go a little bit lower, everything's not busted. Sometimes you do that. That doesn't have to be perfect, but overall, you know, if I get it my way, the way that I want to see it happen, this is how it would quote unquote ideally look. Weekly RSI, you do have lower lows in the RSI with higher lows in the price. That is hidden bullish divergence. To be fair, though, I guess from this low to this low, that would be a lower low, and this low to this low is looking like it might be a lower low as well. So again, just emphasizing that point that closing here or a little bit higher, or even just right around this low, that's fine. But if we close too much lower, that wouldn't be bad. It's just it wouldn't look as ideal per se, right? Overall, I think XPR has a lot of potential. I think that it's underrated, maybe not to the community. I think there's a lot of people in the community who maybe it's overrated in your opinion. Overrated, I guess in your opinion it would be underrated. I don't know how I'm trying to. It's not hyped enough, but I don't know, man. I don't know how to talk today. Apparently, ignore that last part. I think that this thing doesn't have the recognition it deserves, and I think a lot of the people in the community, yes, community sentiment would agree. Okay, we're at about an $88 million market cap. Pretty low volume, but I don't hold that against you, man. I mean, it's been pretty boring. It's a boring week so far. 3.3% to the downside, pretty damn neutral, and we're already about 2 days underway. So, you know, going down a little bit lower wouldn't be too crazy here. We have found support at this daily low close, but it wasn't immaculate like we saw on February 3rd here. It's actually been kind of, you know, lackluster, so I do expect that we go a little bit lower. If we take, I don't know if I want to take this low. I'm going to take this low to high here just because it's so weird. I'm going to say we go down to about 00277 to 0025, somewhere in that range, right? I think that we've talked about this before. Yes, it's all coming back to me. If I can get this actually right on the price from there, we can see that would result in about a 13% drop to potentially something on the lines of a 24% drop. I could see that happening. Could you go lower? Absolutely. You could go all the way down XPR. You could drop 30% or more, but I just don't see that happening, because if Bitcoin's going to drop 13, 14, 15%, something like that, 12% at a minimum, I have a hard time seeing you drop 30% or more, or at least 32% or more, right? Maybe you could drop at a 2-to-1 rate versus Bitcoin, but at that, you know, if Bitcoin drops 15%, 30% would be right here. I mean, it's possible. It's possible you could go to 00215, 002, somewhere in that area, but I just don't think it's likely. I think what's likely most is that you'd go down to 2 zeros, 2 5, somewhere in that zone right there. Golden ratio, kind of right in the middle of these wicks here. It's the battle of the wicks. But if not, yeah, sure, maybe you do go down to this daily high closing area, which is, to be fair, right in the bottom area of this kind of fib zone here. Could you go lower? Sure, but again, then we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. You know, even if Bitcoin drops the most that I could see it dropping, which is 15%, that's pretty extreme for XPR. I don't think that that's going to happen personally, but time will tell. We'll see how it goes. If we pick up enough volume, if something bad happens, if there's like some kind of catalyst to the downside, anything can happen, I suppose. But if we're looking at this on a longer time frame here, and we take this high here to this low there, we look at that, we hit the 188.6 for resistance kind of in this area. It wouldn't surprise me at all in the least if we came back down to the 100 area to find support, or even as low as the 886 there, in all fairness, which, let's see, what is that in a percentage standpoint? That's that 22% drop to maybe something that is over 30%. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. I think that 886 there is also the 1886 of that low to high that we measured there. So it could happen, man. Maybe 2 zeros, 216. I was too quick to judge you. Maybe you could go down there, but at least 2.5 cents, or sorry, not 2.5 cents, 0025, somewhere around there, if not lower, is what I'm interpreting right now. Sorry. After we move down, after we see the downside, and let's just validate that that's probably what we're going to do real quick. Hold on. 4-hour RSI showing some bullish divergence, yes, but you've already made those moves, so I don't think that you need to move higher. I mean, you could move higher, but I think you've already made those moves, so I'm not counting on that too much. Let's look at something with volume on it, maybe. KuCoin, sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not too excited about that. We'll see, but really you've got some like higher highs here with lower highs. It's hidden bearish divergence. It depends, right? If Bitcoin moves up, I mean, the whole market will find life. I'm just not excited about the 1-hour or the 4-hour RSI, so I definitely do think that we're going down. When it comes time to moving up, though, XPR has a lot of potential. It's one of the few coins we talk about that's actually at a market cap that's below $100 million, and that's significant, man. That gives you a lot of opportunity. You know, from an $88 million market cap, I know this sounds crazy what I'm about to say, but a 100x would take you to about an $8 billion market cap. And the thing is, the problem with that is talking about 100x, normally that provides for the average prominent cryptos that everybody's paying attention to, they're already worth hundreds of millions of dollars in market cap valuation or billions of dollars in market cap valuation. So 100x isn't really possible or as likely at those prices. But here, asking for $8 billion, $9 billion, it's not asking it's not asking the world. Don't get me wrong. Even if 100x is at $100 million, 100x is no small accomplishment, right? It's not just given to anybody, but the coins that see that kind of growth are coins like this, right? And we're at a very decent price, I think, to DCAN. I might have to buy some XPR here, man, honestly, because I know that there's a lot of people that are excited about it. I've heard some good things about it, and the more research that I do, the more that I think that it is going to do pretty damn well. I think we will see new all-time highs, inevitably, no doubt. And if we go, let's see here. If we go back to the all-time history chart, you have been around since the last bull cycle. You're seasoned. You're seasoned and still growing. So that's not a bad thing, man. And I definitely do believe that whenever it comes to growing, we will see new all-time highs. Anything from 100x or more is possible. I'm going to take this high to low, and we'll just see what that first target is at the 1272, all the way up there at about 17 cents, right? So from here to there, that in itself is about a 51x. So if you can't get on board with the 100x, at least maybe consider this thing's 51xable. The average crypto, I think, will do a 25 to a 30x in like the top 125. This thing outperforms that by like double, almost double, right? The next target area would be 100x. It's very common with the 1414 to go a little bit above that. And if the question comes to mind, can it see, you said 100x, but can it see a multi 100x? Absolutely it can. And even still, I think this thing has the potential to see some crazy growth, you guys. Like it could be worth multiple dollars by the end of the cycle. I don't think that it will be. I don't think we will see a $2.67 price. I don't think that that's going to happen, but it's a possibility that I accept. Most likely what I think is going to happen is we stop somewhere between about 32 cents and 80 cents, if I really had to guess, with the possibility to breach $1. We could. Just because the 1618's there doesn't mean it has to be respected. It is, after all, kind of an obscure high. I mean, it is the high that took us down into our bear market, but it's not like the all-time high. So, is it going to be respected as such? If so, I don't know, right? Like this, maybe we do go to $1. We could go just above the 1414 here. It's hard to say. So we'll see how well this fib's respected. As of now, you do seem to be respecting this fib to some degree, so we'll just see how it goes, and we'll know better after this next move. I really do think this next move by the end of May, by the end of June, will take you up above 3 cents, maybe even as high as 5 cents, somewhere in this zone. You could even go a little bit above there. I'm a little bit more friendly with that notion now. And from here, from the current price, that is about, let's see, that would provide something on the lines of like a 9x or more, maybe even like a 12x, 14x, something like that could happen. So I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, prepare yourselves for some downside. We're probably going to 2 zeros, 2.5. And then April will be a month of recovery. May and June will be a month of discovery, and that'll be fun. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.